We've all been there before. We do 10 pounds on lateral cable flies, but once we go up to 15 pounds, we get PTSD from bench press plateaus. And of course, your gym crush is watching you struggle to get 3 reps. Let's fix that. Today I'm going to show you the groundbreaking tips and tricks I've used to pack on size to my delts, and what you can do to do the same today. And it's not progressive overload, at least not at first. Let's get started. The difference between 10 pounds and 15 pounds doesn't seem like much because it isn't. It's only 5 pounds. Same thing if we were to compare 300 pounds to 305 pounds, but there's more to it than that. 300 to 305 is 1.7% difference. If you ate 1.7% less of a donut, you probably wouldn't notice. I would though. Now the thing is, 10 pounds to 15 pounds is a 50% increase. Now you would definitely know if there was half a donut or not. I certainly would. Anyways, you wouldn't add 50% more weight to your leg press, so why would you do that to your lateral raises? Today I'm going to show you the 5 best ways to blow up your shoulders when you plateau on lateral raises, getting those gym gains and more looks from your gym crush. The last tip is the one I've used the most to really blow up my shoulders and bust through to the next stack of weight. So the first thing to do to add more weight to your lateral raises is to actually take some weight off. Let me explain. Sure, you used 5 pounds when you started, and then you graduated to 10 pounds because 5 pounds got too easy. You can crank out 15 reps no problem, and with 10 pounds you can probably do a solid 10 or 12 reps on a good day. But for some reason, when you go from 10 pounds to 15 pounds, your reps drop dramatically into the sad 4 to 5 rep range. When the weight jumps between exercises are small like this, the reps aren't close to each other. It's important to work in a variety of rep ranges to get the most effectiveness out of the exercise. When you went up to 10 pounds for a couple months, you inadvertently increased your strength and capacity for doing lateral raises for 5 pounds. We just never knew because you're chasing that 10 pounds to 15 pounds. Maybe if you went back to 5 pounds, you can crank out 16 or 17 or maybe even 18 reps. This obviously beats that 15 reps you did before attempting 10 pounds, thus progressing you closer to using 15 pounds for reps. Remember, hypertrophy can occur anywhere between the 5 to 30 plus rep range. Let's not neglect doing over 15 reps for lateral raises. So try this out doing 5 pounds on your first push day and 10 pounds on your second push day. This works for a while, and you even see your 10 pound reps increase by 1 or 2 for a set or 2. But the 15 pounds is still mocking you and calling you out. We increase our reps but not our weight. What's left to change? The rest times. Mile reps work wonders on the mid delts. For those of you who aren't familiar with mile reps, let me explain. Let's say you're doing 10 pounds for 12 reps. You bust them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. The first 8 or 9 reps were easy, right? If you were to have stopped doing your lateral raises then, it wouldn't have really challenged you. It's because to effectively build muscle, we need to be within 3 reps or fewer, shy of failure or right at failure. The first 8 or 9 reps got you to those last 3 or so reps. Those 8 or 9 reps then seem redundant, so how can we bypass them? That's what mile reps do. After your first set, instead of resting 2 minutes before your next set, where you start at those first 8 to 9 reps, you only rest 20 to 30 seconds and only be able to crank out 3 to 5 more reps, or what we call effective reps. If we did this 4 to 5 times in a single set, then we essentially did 4 to 5 sets within that one set. That sure beats 3 sets of 12. And you can even rest for 2 minutes after the first mile set and do another mile set for another 3 to 4 bouts to almost double your effective sets for that day. The best way to do mile reps is to set a specific rest time and specific rep target to reach. Once you can't reach that rep target, you're done with that mile set. I like to rest only 20 to 30 seconds and stop the mile set once I can't reach 4 to 5 reps. You can also do mile rep match sets, which is what Dr. Mike Israetel does with his clients. The first normal set you do is sets a mile rep match. Let's run with our example of doing the first set with 10 pounds for 12 reps. And normally on your second set, you may only be able to get 10 reps. Since you did 12 reps on your first set, every set after that, your goal is to do mile reps until you match your first set reps. So since you did 12 reps on your first set and only 10 reps on your second set, you would rest 20 seconds and try to crank out another 2 reps to match the second set to 12 reps. You would then rest your normal rest time between sets 2 and 3, use the same technique on your third set to match up to 12 reps. Another technique that's tried and true is drop sets. Research shows drop sets result in the same growth as groups that do traditional sets, but their exercise time is reduced by 2/3. And the same principle of effective reps as explained with mile reps is similar to drop sets. With drop sets, you'll do your first set like normal, 10 pounds for 10 to 12 reps, and then reduce the weight by 20%. In this case, it's 50% since it's only 10 pounds to 5 pounds, and prolong the set with more reps with this reduced weight. Doing 3 of these sets is like doing 6 effective sets, doubling your workload for your mid delts. If you can do 15 pounds for 10 to 12 reps, then you can drop set to 10 pounds and then 5 pounds right after that for 3 effective sets. Do this for 2 to 3 sets and, well, you get the idea. Increasing the days you do lateral raises is a very underrated tool to use. If you're only doing lateral raises 2 days of the week, you could be missing out on some gains. Let me explain. Optimal set range for a major muscle group is anywhere between 10 to 20 working sets per week. What that means is 10 to 20 sets of mid-delt training per week after your warm-ups. Most people are only doing 6 sets, 3 sets on your first push day and 3 sets on your next push day. That's only 6 sets. But what if you did lateral raises 3 days a week? That would be 9 sets, close to that optimal range we wanted to work on. Now, if you're new to increasing your frequency, I probably wouldn't do the same number of sets the next day, especially at the same intensity. For example, if you're doing a push-pull leg split twice a week and doing 3 sets of lateral raises on each push day, and decide to increase your frequency, I wouldn't recommend just tacking on another 3 sets the next day on your pull day. Instead, what I would do is add 1 to 2 sets of lateral raises on your pull days, meaning 4 to 5 total sets on those back-to-back days. Start with adding 1 to 2 extra sets on your first pull day, and run that for a couple of weeks. Then on week 3, you could do this for your second pull day, totaling 8 to 10 sets throughout the week. Repeat this as much as you need to, topping it at 20 sets, and you'll no doubt see your delts blow up. Obviously, don't work through some pain, and dial down the volume or frequency you do if you start to experience pain with increasing your frequency. This last method is probably the most researched and most effective method to add size to your delts, length and partials. You've probably heard of these for leg extensions or tricep extensions. When I started doing them with my shoulders, I had some noticeable size, even while trying to lose some weight. The trick with length and partials for lateral raises is to do them with a cable, since you'll have more tension on the muscle. If you rest in the bottom position with dumbbells, you don't have much or any tension on the mid-delts. That, and you can't get a full stretch, hence length and partials. With these aren't so lengthened. Set the cable up a little over wrist height when your arm is at your side. This ensures you have the most tension on the mid-delts when your arm is fully stretched across your body. I use wrist straps, but you can also use handles if you like. Make a tight fist and swing your hand out in a long arc. Don't think about raising the weight, but more so arcing it out as far as you can to the side. Only go a little past your body and then take 2 to 3 seconds to bring it back to the start. You'll find you can easily bump up the weight in these month to month. I used to go in front of my body, and this was a great variation for getting my mid delts and some rear delts, but you can also switch it up and go behind your body to have by some front delts instead of your rear delts. I personally don't think this makes a huge difference for the mid delt, as you are getting a good stretch in them either way. Feel free to do one or the other, or even mix it up if a variation gets stale, or alternate between the days you do lateral raises. And you can always combine length and partials with any of the other methods I mentioned earlier. With all these different training techniques and variables, you're sure to make some great progress on your delts over the next couple months. Make sure to get plenty of protein, sleep, and recovery. Well guys, thanks for watching. Click the like button if you found this video helpful, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.